Good morning, students. Today we will start a new chapter, that is Morphology of Flowering Plants. Morphology is study of external form and structure of organism. Morphology is study of external features of organism. A flowering plant has two parts. First is the underground part, that is called root system, and other is portion above the ground, that is shoot system. Now first of all, let us talk about the root. The root is underground part of the plant formed from radicle. The root is formed from radical portion of the embryo. Root system is of three types. First is taproot system. Second is fibrous root system. And third is adventitious root system. First, let us talk about taproot system. Taproot consists of a primary root called taproot. There is a primary root called taproot. From the primary root, arises secondary root. For example, if this is the soil and this is the plant, here this root is the primary root, and from primary root arise a number of roots that are secondary root. So this is about taproot system, in which there is a single primary root, and from the primary root arises many secondary roots. Now let us talk about fibrous root system. Fibrous root system is seen in monocots, and in this system the primary root is short-lived. The primary root is short-lived and it is replaced by a number of roots that originate from base of stem in tufts. If I make the diagram of fibrous root, so here primary root is short-lived. If this is the soil surface, many roots originate from base of the stem in tuft-like manner. This is fibrous root. It is seen in monocots. Here primary root is short-lived and it is replaced by a number of roots which originate from stem in tuft-like manner. Now let us talk about adventitious root. We know that root, whether taproot, it originates from radicle. But if a root originates from part other than radicle, it is known as adventitious root. Here, root originates from part other than radicle. For example, if a root originates from branches or stem. So these were the three types of root system: taproot system, in which there is a primary root and secondary root; fibrous root system, in which primary root is short-lived and it is replaced by a number of tufts of roots; and adventitious root system, in which root originates from part other than radicle. Now let us study regions of root. There are three regions in the root. If I draw a root surface, we will see three regions of the root. The first is region of meristematic activity. The second region is region of elongation. And the third region is region of maturation. Let us talk about the different regions. Now, below the region of maturation is present root cap. Now let us see the root cap. So here below the region of maturation is present this region, which I have drawn in red color, is the root cap. Now what is the function of root cap? Root cap, it protects the apex of the root. So below the region of maturation is present root cap, which protects the apex. Apex means tip of the root. Now let us talk something about region of meristematic activity. As the name suggests, region of meristematic activity, in this region, cell undergo continuous cell division. Cell continuously divide. These cells are small, thin-walled, with dense protoplasm. Second region is region of elongation. Now here the cell undergo increase in length. So since cell undergo increase in length, this region helps in growth of the root in length. So first is region of meristematic activity, in which the cell undergo rapid cell division and the cells are small, thin-walled with dense protoplasm. Second is region of elongation, in which cell increase in length. Now let us talk about third region, region of maturation. Here cells differentiate and mature. Here cells differentiate and mature. Now, present over the region of maturation are epidermal cell elongations, and these epidermal cell elongations are known as root hairs. So root hairs are present in the region of maturation, and they are epidermal cell elongations, and they help in absorption of water and mineral from the soil. Now let us look at modification of root. The major function of root is absorption of water and mineral. But apart from this, it also has many functions. For example, number one is swollen roots for food storage. The roots which do the function of food storage. Examples are taproot of carrot and turnip, and adventitious roots of sweet potato. So these are the roots which do the function of food storage. Second is prop root. These are hanging roots of banyan tree, and these help in support of the banyan tree. Third is stilt roots. Stilt roots are supporting roots coming out from lower nodes of stem. Example is maize and sugarcane. So stilt roots are supporting roots coming out from the lower node of stem. Example, maize and sugarcane. Pneumatophores. Pneumatophores are the roots which come vertically upwards to get oxygen for respiration. So these are the roots which come vertically upward from the ground, and they help in respiration. For example, rhizophora and mangrove plants. So the function of root is absorption of water. Also the function of root is providing proper anchorage to the plant, and it also helps in storage of food. Now let us talk about the stem. The stem develops from plumule of the embryo. Similarly, as root develops from radicle of the embryo. Stem bear branches, leaves, flowers, nodes, and internodes. Nodes are the region from where leaf arise. Whereas distance between two nodes is called internode. For example, if this is a stem and these are its two nodes, then from these two nodes would arise leaf. And this part, which is the distance between two nodes, is known as internode. Now let us look at modifications of stem. First modification is for food storage. Similarly, like the roots can store food, stem can also store food. For example, potato, ginger, and turmeric. Second is stem tendril. Stem tendril is the stem which coils around a solid support and helps the stem in climbing. For example, if this is a solid support, and this is the stem from which leaves are arising, then this stem will coil around this solid support. The example of stem tendril is cucumber, pumpkin, and watermelon. Third modification of stem are thorns. Thorns are pointed structures for defense. Example are citrus and bougainvillea. Fourth modification is phylloclad. Phylloclad is a green flattened stem which contains chlorophyll and does the function of photosynthesis. We know normally leaves do the function of photosynthesis, but in phylloclad the stem does the function of photosynthesis. Example is opuntia. Fifth modification is stolon. Stolon is a slender stem arising from main axis and after growing aerially for a short distance, they arch downwards to touch the ground. Let us understand this with the help of diagram. So if this is the plant, then this would be the slender stem which will grow from the main axis, and it will grow aerially for some distance and then will arc downward to touch the ground where there would be another plant. This is example of stolon. Examples are mint and jasmine. Now let us look at the fifth modification, that is offset. Offset are the stems with short internodes and each node bearing rosette of leaves and tuft of roots. Let us understand this with the help of diagram. So if this is the stem, then if this part is the node, it will bear here tuft of leaves and it will bear rosette of leaves, and then there would be a short internode, then again there would be a tuft of leaves and then tuft of roots. So this distance is the internode, and this here part is the node from where is arising tuft of roots, root tufts, and rosette of leaves. Now let us look at functions of stem. Stem bear leaves, flower and fruit, and it conducts water and mineral upwards in the plant. So this was about root and the stem.